On the evening of February 19th, a moment of celebration in a narrow lane of Bulandshahr turned into a nightmare that no family should ever have to live through. A wedding procession was moving through the Saraf Bazaar in Sunar Wali Gali. But in the middle of that joy, someone decided that a celebration meant pulling out a gun and firing shots into the open air. 8-year-old Reyansh Varma was not part of the procession. He was not on the street. He was not provoking anyone. He was simply standing on the balcony of his home, watching the pre-wedding celebrations unfolding below. Like any child, he was curious. Like any child, he was innocent. And in a matter of seconds, his life changed forever. Hello everyone, you are watching Lokmat Times, and today's story is not just a news. It is a reality that will force you to think, question and react. According to the CCTV footage, two men were dancing in the narrow street. One of them pulled out a pistol and began firing into the air. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Neighbors reportedly tried to warn them. There were houses on both sides. People were standing on the rooftops. Children were watching from the balconies, but the warnings were ignored. The gun kept firing. The noise of the bullets cut through the music. Then one of those bullets did not go into the air. A bullet struck Reyansh in his head. His father recalls seeing his son collapse after the gunshot. A parent who had been watching his child from a distance suddenly saw him bleeding on the ground. He rushed him to the hospital, not fully understanding the extent of the injury. Doctors later confirmed that the child had suffered a severe gunshot wound to the head, multiple skull fractures, extensive and internal bleeding in the brain. He was taken in for an emergency neurosurgery that lasted long 8 hours. Surgeons worked to repair the damaged brain tissue and stabilize his skull. After surgery, he was shifted to the ICU and placed on ventilator support. An 8-year-old child put on a ventilator just because someone thought such firing was fun. Reyansh's mother says around 20 to 25 rounds were fired, 20 to 25 bullets in a crowded residential lane. Was this a wedding procession or a war zone? Was this a joy or recklessness? And when did a licensed weapon in a cramped neighborhood become a symbol of pride? The accused allegedly used a licensed pistol belonging to his father. Reports suggest that both the shooter and his father fled after the incident. Now the days have passed. The weapon has still not been recovered. The child remains critical at the Fortis Hospital in Noida, fighting for his life. And here is the question we all need to ask ourselves. How many more times we will call this celebratory firing before we start calling it what it really is? Criminal negligence, arrogance and a complete disregard for human life. In India, we have seen this pattern before. Guns fired at weddings, bullets falling into crowds, innocent bystanders paying the price. And yet every time it is dismissed as tradition, as excitement. But what tradition justifies putting a child on a ventilator? What excitement is worth a life? And what celebration demands a trigger to be pulled 25 times in a lane filled with homes? Reyansh did not do anything wrong. He did not step into a danger. Danger was brought to him. A nuisance created by someone else's ego has now turned into a life and death battle for a family. His father speaks of feeling scared and hopeless. His mother prays every day for her son to wake up. While they sit outside an ICU, machines breathing for their child, somewhere out there the men responsible are now absconding. This is not just one family's tragedy. This is a mirror held up to the society. When will we stop glorifying guns at weddings? When will the authorities strictly enforce laws against such nuisance? When will bystanders stop clapping and asking answers? And most importantly, when will we decide that a child life matters more than a moment of show of power? An 8-year-old boy is fighting for his life today because someone wanted to shoot bullets in the name of celebration. The question is not just who pulled the trigger. The question is how long we will keep tolerating this culture of reckless display before another balcony, another rooftop and another innocent child becomes the next big headline in the country.